The speed of the lessons required careful planning and resources designed specifically for spatial learning. Spaced learning, as used in the study, therefore consisted of 3 intensive teaching elements of the same content, with slight deviations of 20 minutes or less, stimuli separated by 2 10-minute distractor activities, spaces without stimuli. The preliminary implementation was done using spaced learning to complement standard education in a variety of contexts, prior to teaching, for example reviewing new topics, or after teaching, replacing course discussions. There's substantial evidence that many communication systems work at very high speed in humans and other species, with many elements operating in milliseconds. This alone does not explain the impact of high-speed spacing learning instructions on the test results. The data suggests that spaced learning is more efficient than standard education. The manipulation of time as a key variable for learning reflects neuroscience findings on time scales in memory processes rather than pedagogical timescales, Tetzlaff et al. 2012. It could also be used in many different ways, including sequences of spaced-apart learning instructions to aid the rapid acquisition of knowledge, skills or information. There are 3 research areas on LTM processes that seem to have an impact on education resulting from the importance of time coding, consolidating, and retrieving LTM. This study examines the first area, the timing protocols that are effective in triggering LTP and LTM coding. The coding of memories has been the subject of many studies showing that processes of coding and retrieval of memories occur in different parts of the human brain. When retrieving reminders, timing patterns are also important, although the timescales in the retrieval practice are usually in weeks, months, or even years. Ebbinghaus, 1913, retrieval studies have shown that spatial practice, many short sessions, versus mass practice, 1 long session, is important in the LTM. Cognitive psychologists refer to the mental processes involved in creating new memories and restoring past memories as coding or restoring. Recent advances in the science of learning and memory have challenged common assumptions about how learning works. Each time a reminder is recalled, this reminder will become more accessible in the future. Retrieval also helps people to create coherent and integrated mental representations of complex concepts. This is the kind of depth learning required to solve new problems and draw new conclusions. Nightingale songs, like humans, are structured information from very short sound units that produce long song sequences with individual variations. Hulch and Todd, 2008. In vivo memory processes for individuals on the scale of individual neurons show how complex information can be coded in short, fast-track LTM communications. A study of patients with severe epilepsy showed specific memory formation in individual neurons and was able to demonstrate aspects of the memory mechanisms in free recall. Research from Pinterest suggests that meditation can induce long-term changes in the brain that improve memory. The authors of a research paper from 2018 note that many studies show that meditation improves brain function, reduces the markers of brain degeneration, and improves both working memory and long-term memory. Researchers observed the brains of people who regularly practiced meditation and people who did not. Their results showed that the habit of meditating can induce long-term changes in the brain, including an increase in the plasticity of the brain, which helps keep it healthy. Memory tricks help you to expand your working memory and access long-term memory. Finally, such memory tricks lead to understanding and thinking of higher order. Continue reading to get an introduction to effective learning techniques that will help you at school. When you use visual and spatial memory techniques, you use fun, catchy and creative approaches rather than boring memorizing. The use of visual and spatial techniques helps your mind to focus and pay attention if your mind prefers to move on to something else. The common practice of using the knuckles to determine the number of days per month is a prime example of a simple visual spatial technique that lets you remember details.